Hi, Spirit Farm. So, yes, we're back again with another episode, and this time we're very excited because with everything that is going on in Nigeria, you hear a lot of young creatives talking about how they need to increase their network. Every networking event is stressful. I would just be thinking about God. What do I say to these people? What if they don't want to say anything to me? I'm shy in complexion, first of all. Let's start from there. Like I'm shy, but you have to talk to people because we understand that the door of success is only open from the inside. So you have to talk. Our guest today is my guy. I've been begging her not to have me on this show. She has been able to connect herself to places that I would just be like, Coco, why are you leaving me? But yeah, she has been able to do that, and she does it so effortlessly. So today we decided to want to learn, like, okay, how do you do it? How do you do that? Our guest today is Courage. I was about to pronounce your surname, and I knew that the entire clan would come for me if I mix pronounce it. So I'm just like, hi, Courage.
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. So I guess today is Courage. She's an entrepreneur. And she does a lot of things. She do usually do a lot, according to Rama. But yes, she's here today and she's going to first tell us what she does and how she has been able to grow. So hi, Coco.
Hi, Jamesicles.
Yes.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing me. My name is Courage Chigere. And I'm a
Chigere.
serial entrepreneur and I'm the chairman board of trustee for Development Initiative for Youth Excellence, Progress and Stability. It's a non-profit organization that caters to children, women, men. Founded an initiative called Red Initiative. That aspect covers the fight for ending period poverty.
Okay.
And I'm also a social golfer. Travel around the world, play golf.
Yes.
And have fun while at it. That's basically what I do.
Love it. So the fact is that if you knew Courage a couple of years ago and then you traveled and you come back and you meet Courage again, it's gonna be a different person altogether because Courage has moved. Please tell us, how do you move? Because
you're right. If you knew me, what you saying a few years ago? If you knew me last year, or you knew me 2 years ago, you can tell that there's actually a big change. I myself can tell. Okay. I'm not the one to ignore when things change. And I don't take credit for all of it. Of course, God has been involved in every aspect of it. So for me, it had to do with my mind. I told myself that I cannot continue to, be in this pitiable situation. I first of all prepared my mind.
Okay.
I knew that I was tired of the status quo. I didn't want to continue. When I want to go to church, I will have to wait for a friend, Toby or Bisola. They are both in the UK now. They have to drive me to church. And that's not because, going to church was expensive. I'm saying church because we were in the same church. If I had to go to work and any places, I will wait for somebody who is going there just so I can cut costs and all that. But I was tired of all of that and I didn't want it to continue being like that. And I realized that I had things that people would come to me to do for them.
Okay.
And I was doing it for free, not realizing that this is actually a talent, a skill that I can monetize. I was just there doing it, just being a nice person, compromising my goodwill every time, just relaxing and everybody, okay, oh yes, I can do it, I'll do it, and they will go for free. You go and make money from it while I'll be there in my closet, thinking of the next place to eat from. So I was just tired of all of that, and then I decided to upgrade myself. And by upgrade, I mean I started I took classes.
Okay.
I was reading.
Okay.
I intentionally started reading.
Okay.
I intentionally put my mind into improving myself, working on my physical body, my career. It all started when I started working in Defense Headquarters.
Okay.
In the Directorate of Procurement, that's Armed Forces Complex,
Okay.
in 2019.
Okay.
when you work with the military, they'll shift your mind. Apart from the fact that I had friends who I would come to work today, next week I won't see them again. I hear they've passed, Boko Haram and all that. That on the side. I walked. When you're working with the CDS, you're working with the Directorate of Procurement, you put your hands to work. I was walking. Having studied computer science, at that time, the officers in the orderly room, a lot of them were on course. They go for course to study somewhere else. So I was basically like the only person who knew what had to do with computer around there. So I was walking, and I put my mind to it. I didn't know that people were watching me. So I started, putting work into it and growing the shift. There was a mind shift. Working with these people, they are on another level. The way you are thinking is not where they are thinking. So you have to meet up. You have to catch up.
Quick
so
on your
I
feet,
did
yeah.
everything to be at the place where I was expected to be at that time and not fall short
Okay.
of that at that period of time. And it helped me.
Okay, so you're saying that every like your growth has been one that has been laced with intentionality, in the sense that you were intentional about developing your mind.
It started with intentionality.
Okay.
It started with telling yourself that, okay, I can do this or I cannot do this.
Okay.
It's inside first before it comes out. So it started with intentionality. It's not just it doesn't fall from up. Or even if it does, you have to be intentional about catching it.
About receiving it.
Yeah,
Yes. I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and she was just talking about a couple of stuff. And then we spoke about someone receiving like a template for getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, see, this thing I'm actually doing is because I received a template and I'm working with it. And then she goes, we have met people that receive the same template. Mm-hmm. And they absolutely do not know what to do with it. Yeah. So the application of whatever opportunities that you've gotten is also a very good way to increase your do I say value? Your value in the workplace and all that. So tell us, how do you meet people and get them to become like your guys?
So I come off to people as a social butterfly.
Yeah.
A lot. When people see me, the energy is always there. More like life of the party. I hate to be the life of the party because my social battery is also, it can drain. And when I go home, I just go and start crying. Maybe I've met too much people. Yeah. I just stay in the bathroom and I cringe. I'm like, oh, I gave a lot of me today. It happens to me. But when I meet people, like the people, let me tell you how I started playing golf.
Okay.
I think that should be one of it because golf is literally one of the most expensive sports that anybody can play. First of all, I didn't like golf. I used to when I was working in defense headquarters, I used to insult all those generals. Every Wednesday, you see them, they'll be carrying golf bag. They are going to. I'm like, why are you rushing to go and chase tiny
ball,
tiny depressing ball? Like, you walk for how many hours and you're excited about it? But that'll be a conversation for another day, explaining to you what golf actually means. Because everybody should play golf to be a better person in life.
Mm-hmm. So,
I went one day with my friend who she's from Zimbabwe. She's not Nigerian. So we went together she was a golfer at that time. So we went to IBB, International Golf and Country Club. And then I was just sitting. At that time, I was doing real estate. I was, trying to find my way around sales management and business management. So we were just sitting there, and then I was talking to somebody about real estate. And then he said, okay, I have some things I want to sell. I also want to buy in another prime location and all that, blah, blah, blah. So we were going on and on, and I was like, why are you not playing golf? I'm like, I don't want to go and say I don't have money to play golf or anything. But I was like, you should start playing. And I totally should start playing golf. I should start playing. Like, okay. Let's go to the reception and we'll do some paperwork. I'm like, go to my ATM card, they're here. Even if it's here, I don't have money to pay for this thing. But I actually was intentional. I knew I was going to IBB, International Golf and Country Club, where Buhari was playing, where Tinubu was playing, where everybody was playing. So I was not going to go there and dress like somebody that was hungry, even though I was hungry. I first of all knew that I had to come correct.
Yeah.
I dressed like, if I had told you that I was the managing director of GT Bank, you will believe me.
Because you look the part.
Yeah, I dressed the part. So we got to the reception, and then like, what's your name? They asked this. I'm not kidding you. That was how I was paid for to start playing golf. My 1 naira did not enter there. Nobody has heard this story. I'm only saying it to this people for the first time.
Wow.
Everybody thinks I paid it. I mean, I literally did. But that was how I started playing golf. And he was like, you really dress. For me, I went home and I thought about it. I'm like, okay, it must have been the way I dressed that this. There are people that when they want to give you gifts, they look at you first and know what you can handle.
Yes.
I usually started praying the prayer for my friends. When I pray on their birthdays, I say, may you have all the happiness your heart can hold. They'll look at you first and know, let me not go and give her 1 million naira now and I'll be looking down on her. Let me just give her 5 million. Do you understand this kind of thing?
Yes.
So first of all, for me, I always, if I hear that we are going to, let me say, church, anywhere, dress like the best person in that place. First of all, you must come correct. You must dress like you are actually one of them. Don't look like you're not, so that they cannot single you out from the crowd. You must look like every one of them. Like yesterday, we had Energy Summit is currently going on. That's Nigerian Oil and Gas. We have a 1 week or maybe 5 days meeting. It's currently going on at ICC. So it's I was there. I don't work in oil and gas company, but my friends do. They were there. They invited me. You needed to see me in my suit. I dressed like them yesterday. And, they were bouncing other people who were coming to register. I didn't register, nothing, but I was ushered inside. So I have known before now that your dressing is key. And then, when you finally make this contact, I know you asked, how do you keep them to be your guys? It's not always, unfortunately, people say it's a man's world. I'm not going to sit here and say nobody disturbs me. I'm not spiking men, but men, there will always be men. Some of them will be men. I have to face the challenges of being a young woman. Men will try to sexualize you. Of course, if you give them the chance, they'll take whatever it is they want and they go. I face it every day. Every day I step my foot, even up to now, as a golfer. I face it every day. People will just look for you, they will harass you. Let me have your number, this, and when you come to that place, you will hear stories of people that have gone through scandals. But I don't want that to be the same for me. So I must be careful about whoever it is I relate with. The way you keep yourself determines how they are going to, address you. They will try. They are foolish to try because they know that not everybody is wise, to not say no. So they will always sexualize you. But how I manage to keep them is I bring value. First of all, you do what those people like. You do what people around you, what people like. What can you offer to them? I started my NGO 6 years ago, but it started gaining more traction 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, because you are actually attending to people, and this is what people like. This is how they want to be remembered. Do what the heart is always a very sensitive place. If you can easily permit into people's hearts, people want to support a good cause. People want to see that you are genuine. As much as some of them are not genuine inside or in their inner cockles, but they want to see that you're genuine and you can be trusted with something. So when I come to you and I say, oh, I'm having this outreach for young girls who can't afford sanitary pads, you know that period is not something that we brought upon ourselves. It just came. And so some people can't afford it, seeing how expensive it has become these days. People want to do all that. When you give people value, they want to identify with you. Especially being young, golfers are known to be old people. I have a good number of female friends who are, governors' wives. In fact, my phone is even ringing now, and one is calling. And they like your energy. They like to be around. They are way old. I'm talking of people that are 34 years older than me. That can actually bond me. But we are friends because of, and I've learned to manage them. I've learned to give them what they want, good things. I've learned to operate on a level that, I diversify myself. You cannot get the same me today and tomorrow. Like not in the bad line, but they are new every morning. You know how God's mercies are new every morning. Like I leave you in awe. Whatever it is you ask me, you bring to the table or anything, I am able to diversify. Is it fitness, career, anything at all you want to measure?
Okay. If let's say you mentioned yesterday that you were at the oil and gas
Yeah.
summit at ICC. So let's say you walk up to someone and you want to start a conversation with them. Of course, you want to have like a clean conversation where the interest is business and financial. How do you start it? So let's say starting up a conversation with someone that is gengi.
Okay, so first of all, people don't want to relate with somebody who does not have anything in the head. So if you're relating with somebody that is, let's say, I met the past MD of NLNG.
Okay.
So the conversation is, hi, you already know what he does, and then he doesn't know what you do. You have to look for a conversation that goes in the line of what he can easily reason.
Really?
Let's say we want to talking about the subsidy that has been removed now. I mean, it has to be intellectual, because if you want to, if you say it's beauty, you want to use and catch somebody, that one will still fade. But it has to be intellectual. First of all, I'm going to ask him the updates on how do they think what's the effect on them as a private sector in the country. How is this subsidy affecting them? How is it? How are they carrying on about it and all? And then when he answers the first question, he takes the next question. When you ask them a reasonable question, they know that they want to talk to you. They want to hear what you can do. Especially now that most of them are entering into retirement age. They want to see how much of their wealth they can trust you with. What can you do for them? And how they can go about it. So if they ask you one or two questions, they can tell whether this one has something in their head or not.
Okay, so how has meeting these people positively impacted your net worth?
It has actually impacted my net worth, because when somebody hears that you know this person, some of these people who are highly placed, they're not able to enter into all the rooms that you think they can enter. They need somebody to help them go into those places. So for me, knowing alone that I am related to you is enough reason for somebody to want to do business with me. Okay. Knowing that I know this person, or when I say, I used to work with Defense Headquarters at that time, General Loni Shakin was the CDS, and I'm like, oh, so you did it to capital project? Yeah, I started the capital projects. I actually did, and all that. So they want to know what they can get from you. And even if that environment is not enough to hold long conversations, like, okay, here's my card, call me, or give me your number, I'll call you. And then you're not the one who is looking for all that. Just present yourself. Okay. Present yourself as real as it can be.
Okay. Can you tell us one of the most prestigious places that you've been to thanks to connecting with people?
I've been to quite a lot. Okay. So in February of this year, I went to Johannesburg for countering transnational organized crime in Southern Africa. It was a conference that was held by one of the, I think it's like number 3 billionaires. I can't remember his name right now, but he hosted us. AGA, if you know, Attorney General Alliance, and then Good Governance Africa. If you know them, I don't know if you've heard about them, but they are quite popular. So if you know them, the founder of GGA is who I'm talking about, and I was able to make that trip because of the connections that I have. They understood that we loved golf, and they it was an overwhelming time, from the whole trip from Nigeria to Joburg to Cape Town to Ethiopia, and all that. But it was through the connection that I made with former Director General of NAPTIP, Julie Donley. She's an amazing woman. She's a golfer as well, and she makes sure that anywhere she's going to, courage must be there.
Okay.
Currently, her principal is running for governor of Bayelsa State, and they've already called me that I'm going for the campaign and all that. But all of this was able to come alive because of her, and I don't take it for granted at all. So, and it's because I know what I can give. I try to um, I try to diversify my portfolio, just so that if one doesn't work, two doesn't work, three doesn't work, I have seven others to fall to. If I can reinvent myself into 10 places, I won't have only one means of support.
That's awesome. Okay, so there's a question that is coming to mind. If you could go back to the time where all of these had been falling in place, what would you tell yourself then? Like, we're struggling to get cabs to church, which is a real thing. We're struggling to get this, we're struggling to get that. What would you tell yourself then? And what would you tell yourself then?
I probably would have told myself what I told myself earlier. That I have to, sit up and, put your mind and hold trust in God. I can never neglect the God factor. I can never, because I used to tell myself that I can never be stranded every day. I live by invisible means of support. Even when it hasn't started looking like it, I was believing it. I was saying it every day. I was, listening to my pastor, and I knew. I'm not. You people have not seen anything. No. This one you guys are seeing is. I know that I'm heading. There's a place I will be. I mean, you guys should just keep watching, keep looking out, and I'm still going.
You mentioned self-sabotage. So what would you say to someone that is shy or just feels like they are socially awkward and this person wants to wants to improve their social circle? What would you say to that person?
First of all, just continue showing up. You're shy, but you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. People have made relationships strategic now.
Yeah.
They just want to what they can get or what but just keep showing up. Do the little ones that you can do. Carry your, try to give yourself experiences. You can just say, okay, today I'm going to treat myself to a cup of coffee. Carry your laptop, go to where they're selling coffee, sit down, drink your coffee, do what you have to do, and go home. People will talk to you. I mean, these days people talk. Even though I'm not saying I don't like people talking to me, but it can be stressful sometimes. But people will definitely talk to you. And if you're a shy person, you're the one limiting yourself. At some point you will have to break out. At some point you have to sit up and encourage yourself. You have to just go out of your comfort zone somehow, and then believe in what you can actually do. Believe in it. Self-sabotage is a very terrible thing. It's very terrible. It's enough that people are doing it to you outside, but the moment you start doing it to yourself,
it's like you're setting yourself up. Yeah. I think I will stick with you with the value bits. Yeah. So when you're valued, people just know that this person is the go-to person for
and
this.
You're a very consistent person. I forgot that part. I the other day we were having a conversation, and then I'm like, I was counting how many values you have created to me, even though in exchange for money. I'm like, man, this girl has gone on. She has been in this. So if people see her and then she's getting it now, it's because she has been there. I remember in 2018, 2019. Give me high five.
Yes.
So yeah.
I hope that from this episode you've learned 18 or 2, especially for people that feel like they're too shy to communicate when they go out in public.
Shy will not pay your bills.
Please have something of value and be willing to communicate it when you are given the opportunity to meet with people that you think can be of value to you. One last question. Maintaining these relationships, because people do not like to be used.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how have you been able to maintain these relationships in such a way? You mentioned that you're friends with people that are like 34 years older than you, that they could literally give birth to you. How have you been able to maintain these relationships in such a way that you are in their space, but you're not like, you're not pushing? How have you been able to do that?
You must respect them. You know, people say nobody has actually been able to tell my age. Nobody. I don't think. Do you know my age?
I don't even bother.
Nobody can tell my age. It's not because I am old or because I am young, but because of how I carry myself. I respect people.
Rich auntie.
I respect I respect people no matter the age. No matter the age. But I'm more intentional when I know that you can give birth to me. But at the same time, I have also learned that you're not going to, my humility is not going to, I'm not going to let you, walk on me.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
At this,
yes.
I make it look, I make these people hunger for me. I make them long for me. I'll just show them one shaggy and I'll go away. Like recently, I had a fight with one of my friends. We traveled together one of our international trips, and so she upset me. I upset her. But then when we came back to Nigeria, I showed up at the airport. My orderly came, picked me in military uniform, those kinds of things. And then they fell into trouble with the airport guy. So I was like, okay, I told my orderly, I said, go and help them, go and release their car for them. They came out. So I didn't even go down. From there, I went home. I just stayed. I didn't call her or anything and all that. But 2 weeks, no, it wasn't not 2 weeks. Like a week later, she said, Sissy, I miss you. I would just show her small shit again. She would show me. And then
it's balanced, because I feel like when you're trying to get...
I respect her. She can give birth to me. In fact, her first child is older than me with a year. She can give birth to me. And then, what do you give to them? What do you offer to them? Another of my friends called me there and they say, you work with the military, General Musa, that's the current CDS. Let's go and meet him now so that we can, get contracts and all that. They know that I can do that because I was there. I used to be in that office. So it's not just about being empty. There are other times. I'm not also disputing the fact that you must not have anything to give. I've received favors from people that I don't know anything. My head is empty. You don't have to do anything. Just be yourself. Just be real. Just be an honest person. You don't have to do anything. So there's a place for that. But it lasts longer when
you have something of value.
Core values, yes. You have things that this person actually wants. And if you're a business analyst, you know that before this person wants something, you have to go and, before they even start saying it in full, you know what they are thinking. There are people that can actually tell your next move. You just go home, find a way around it and hold it and wait for when they will ask. And, people want you to be in their communities. They will ask you, even if you cannot do anything, do like you can do it.
So a very good way to maintain relationships with these high-profile people is
diversify your portfolio, respect people, have something to offer them, create avenues for service, and also, I'm everywhere, but I'm not everywhere. I'm a Rotarian, and that is because I love good works and all that. Recently, I was awarded Nelson Mandela's Leadership Award under the ECOWAS Youth Council as an ambassador.
Yeah, I remember Ambassador Courage
and all that. So that's because of the laudable, do small things in a big way. If you're able to sweep this Sokode Crescent, announce it, sponsor ads that you swept it. Like, it may be small, but announce that you did it. Even if it means saying it every day for the next 6 months, people will get tired.
But they will know.
But their mind cannot forget that they saw an ad where you were sweeping. Do you understand?
Yes.
So when you do those small things, announce it in a big way. You're the only person that can carry your market on your head. So at the end of the day, just keep
doing
screaming.
it.
Keep screaming what you can do.
Thank you so much. Having podcast is good though. If I were to go and meet Courage and say, Coco, how do you? She will not answer me like this, but see camera now, she's doing it. Bless the Lord. Thank you so much. Again, I hope that you've been able to learn a thing or two about meeting people and creating value for yourself and also for people around you. Because these people you meet, they're not just beneficial just for you. They're beneficial to people around you too. Because you mentioned a friend reaching out, trying to get contracts with the defense headquarters. And so the people you meet are literally access to other people, for other people.
Exactly.
So yes, build your network, amplify whatever you are doing.
Don't be downcast. Don't be down. I was going to. There was a time that when I was in real estate, so I was almost going to close a deal about selling a house. Now the man now said, let's finish it up at the Transcorp Hilton. I'll tell you my room number. And I know when the man starts going like that, you already know what they want. I went back to my office that day. I was crying, like hot real tears were coming out of my eyes. So my boss now walked into the office. I'm like, Kodra, you crying? I was not telling the man what happened. He now gave me tissue. I said, stop crying. If it's what the man wants, do it now. Hey! I said, my boss. I started crying hot tears all over. Muco was coming out of my nose. So, at that time, a lot of things went through my mind. I'm like, maybe I should actually stop. Because everybody makes it about my body. Everybody makes it about me being a woman, first of all. But it didn't stop me. I cried. I cried for weeks. It didn't, because I was like, maybe I should just rest. Maybe
probably calculated the profits.
Yeah. And, somebody can go and... But I wasn't going to do that. And it pained me because that is what most of men will do. Most of the men, that's what they will want to do. They want to take advantage of you and then, but it pained me. What if I had gone inside my cubicle and say, maybe this sales or stop being outside in people's faces. And then I don't want to do what I want to do again. You will face these things. You will face this conversation. So when you meet a man and say they want to sleep with you and all that, cry, but don't let it stop you from doing. Just push that one somewhere and move on to the next. He is not the only person. If you never even decide and say, okay, let me sleep with you, how many can you even sleep with? How many? You meet them every day. So you must set your priorities. You must set it and never to, your boundaries, your standards. You're not going down on it. First of all, it's against your faith. It's against what you believe. And also, for your own health as well. You must outline these things and say, these are the things I'm going to go by. There will be general misconceptions about you. There will be people will say what they think they know. People will assume on top of your head. It's like Instagram. I have 1,000 and I have a lot of followers on Instagram. I'll just wake up one day, I'll see my DM, somebody's cussing me, I'll not do them anything. Then when you respond to them, they'll be like, you responded, sorry, I was just looking for your attention. You didn't do anything, you just want
to
Are
you
cuss.
serious?
Yes, it happens. And then my comment section, people are just abusing you. The other time, last year, or was it last year or 2 years ago, I took a vacation with my sisters to Transcorp, but I was posting personal pictures on my page. Only people who followed my stories knew that I was there with my sisters. It's a place I can go at any time. Stay on the 10th floor at any time I want to be. I can afford to do that. But people will just assume what they don't know. Who is taking these pictures? You are not forming as if you are alone. Do you understand? But these things, if you let them get into your head, you will not eat anything. You'll be hungry. So you must just put yourself right, set your priorities, and know that you're not going below them. Don't forget that.
Awesome. So with this, we've come to the end of today's episode, and it was really, really exciting. Like, I'm going to go back, rewatch this episode, and think of how to apply, so that maybe in a couple of years or in a couple of months, I'll be like, I'll call you and be like, I did this and it worked. So yes, thank you so much for viewing today's episode, and we hope that just like me, you've learned a lot of things, and we look forward to you applying them. And when you do, please drop a comment. We'll be excited to hear about it, and we will respond to it. So thank you so much, Coco, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. If you are yet to subscribe, please, now is the perfect time to do that. So subscribe to our show. Follow us on Dispillit Show on IG and on other social media platforms. Listen to our podcast on Google Podcasts, Spotify. Which other one?
All of them, Jen.
All of them. Yes, and again, don't forget to spill it.